Hi everybody, if you don't know me already, my name is Kaylee. I'm a gut health nutrition coach and I help people to overcome their chronic gut and digestive issues at the root using the principles of ancestral nutrition and some other holistic health principles. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about IBS-C versus IBS-D. So what causes you to have either constipation, diarrhea, or to alternate back and forth between the two. So I had IBS-C, so I had chronic constipation, bloating, gas, abdominal pain for about 10 years. So I'm very familiar with that side of things. And I actually have a video about my experience with that. So if you want to hear more about that, I'll link that above. But I work with a lot of people who have both. About half my clients are constipated and the other half are diarrhea or have diarrhea. So I find it really interesting what causes the difference because a lot of other symptoms can be really similar. So I'm going to be going over that today in this video. Another interesting thing is when I did post that video about my own journey with IBS-C, I had a lot of people comment that they had heard a lot about IBS-D and what causes the diarrhea, but there wasn't as much info about the constipation, so you'll get both in this video. So let's see. Yeah, basically I'm really going to be going over the causes because once you understand what's causing it, it's a lot more intuitive what you need to do to actually heal it. Before we get too far into the video, I do want to let you guys know I have a couple of spaces open in my program, Ancestral Gut Healing, right now. So if you're interested in healing your gut at the root, you want a plan to help you get there, but you also want that personalized support to work on your root causes and your issues and get to your goals, then it would probably be a great fit for you. So I'll talk more about that at the end. So yeah, if you're interested, just make sure to watch the end of the video. Okay, so let's see. Where do I want to start? Okay, so let's go into let's just go straight into what causes constipation or diarrhea. Okay, so a huge thing is your gut bacteria. So basically the microbes growing in your gut microbiome. So if you have an excess of pathogenic microbes, especially, so if you have gut dysbiosis, these microbes like to produce a lot of gas. So this is why gut dysbiosis is the main root cause for gas and bloating and can cause abdominal pain and stuff like that. But it can also affect the fluid in your colon. So some microbes, the gas they produce draws more fluid to your colon. You can probably guess what that causes. And some draws fluid away from your colon. So if you have more fluid going into your colon, it's going to make your stools looser, you're going to get diarrhea. If your fluid is being drawn away from your colon, it's going to make your stools harder, more difficult to pass, and you're going to get constipation. So then let's see. Okay, so what am I saying here? Oh, also just how your body tends to react to certain foods can affect this as well. So I had a client, Alexa, who used to get diarrhea every time that she ate eggs. So that was just a weird way of her body reacting to it. And once she did heal her gut and fix her diet, manage her stress, all those kinds of things, she was able to tolerate eggs again. So that was really exciting. And, you know, if you are having trouble tolerating something, if you are getting constipation or diarrhea every time you eat something, know that you can heal it. It's not forever. Oh, and she actually had alternating constipation and diarrhea, and it was the eggs was one of the main things that would make it go to diarrhea. But she did overcome that in 3 months, so that was pretty cool. So let's see. So one thing to note on diarrhea is it is a method of your body purging things out. So if you think about when you get like a stomach flu or something like that, you can get diarrhea. It's your body's way of purging things out quickly because in your colon, your body reabsorbs water. So a healthy stool is that medium texture, like a 4 on the Bristol stool chart. You know, it's not too rocky and dry and it's not too loose. So just the right amount of water has been absorbed out of the stools and back into your body. With diarrhea, basically the stools have moved through your colon so quickly that enough water wasn't reabsorbed. And with constipation, so much water is absorbed, the stools get harder and harder and more difficult to pass. So with diarrhea, it's a way to really flush things out quickly, because when that water is being absorbed, minerals are being absorbed, and even toxins can be reabsorbed sometimes. So by having everything go through really quickly, it just flushes a lot out. So that's why diarrhea is more common when you get food poisoning or when you get a stomach bug or something like that. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind as well. So yeah, if you just have excess pathogens or toxins or things your body needs to get out, that could be another reason for the loose stools. So, okay, my next like large category is going to be gut motility. So basically this is kind of what I just talked about. It's how fast your stools are moving through your colon. So basically gut motility is going to be decreased by a few main things. And when it's decreased, that's going to be causing constipation. So stress is a huge thing. When you are in that fight or flight state, your body is not thinking about having bowel movements. It's thinking about things it needs to do to save your life, because your body still thinks that it is out in the wild most of the time. So if you're stressed, it is internalizing that as a threat to your life, and you don't go to take poos while you have a threat to your life. So if you're stressed, it is really going to slow down that motility. It's really going to slow down everything in your digestive system, and you're going to get much more prone to constipation. If you have too much bulk in your food, I talked about this in a recent video, that if you're eating too much fiber, it's adding too much bulk to your stools. It's like adding more cars to a traffic jam. It's just going to get more clogged up. It's going to be really hard for your body to eliminate those stools. Low hydration, so not drinking enough water and not having enough minerals, can just make your stools more dry and more difficult to pass, and they can get compacted quicker and not have the fluid they need to really go through your colon efficiently. Just poor digestive health in general is going to slow down motility as well, because I like to say every part of digestion, if it doesn't function properly, it's going to pass the burden on to the next part of your digestive system. So if you're not chewing your food thoroughly, your stomach has to work harder to digest it. If you're not producing enough stomach acid and digestive enzymes in your stomach, then your small intestine is going to have to work harder. And if you haven't digested your food properly, if you haven't broken it down and really absorbed all the nutrients you can out of it, you're going to have a lot more waste that your colon's going to have to deal with. So if you have poor digestion, you have more waste, it's going to back up easier. So then, okay, so what can increase your gut motility and make it go too fast is just too much liquid. But mostly it's going to be, if you drink a lot of water, your kidneys is more likely going to take care of that and make you pee more. But really it's mostly going to be that too much liquid that's coming from those gut microbiomes, or the gut microbes that are producing all that gas. And like I said earlier, that really happens in gut dysbiosis. So if you want to learn more about gut dysbiosis and how to heal that, if you have diarrhea, I would definitely recommend checking that out. I have a video on it, so I'll link that up above. So, oh, one other note is if you have low stomach acid, so if you're getting like acid reflux, that's a big sign that you have low stomach acid. Yeah, if you have low stomach acid, if you're not digesting well in your stomach, then you're not going to be killing as many like pathogens that you come into contact with. A fun little fact is vultures have the lowest pH stomach acid, and they're scavengers. So that super duper low stomach acid is to kill off all the funky things that are growing and all the animals they come across that they're eating that are like half dead already. So our lower stomach acid actually protects us from different foodborne illnesses and things like that. So it is possible that if you have low stomach acid, you have too many pathogens coming through, and then your body's just trying to flush that out with some diarrhea. Okay. Another note I have is stress is definitely a huge thing here. I just have really noticed in my clients, the ones that struggle with stress tend to struggle with constipation. And if people have gut issues and they're not as stressed, they tend to struggle with diarrhea. So that is not an across the board. It is just a pattern that I have noticed. Okay, so additional things that can cause constipation are going to be lack of movement. If you are sitting a lot, if you drive a lot, if you have a desk job, something like that, where you're sitting down a lot, that can definitely slow things down. If you're not moving your whole body, your colon's not going to be moving quite as well either. And just, yeah, not exercising. Exercising is huge. There's a lot of things I did that helped my constipation, but exercising was one of them that helped a lot for me. So then, another big thing for constipation, if you are lacking relaxed time to have a bowel movement, so often we rush through the day so much and we're more in that sympathetic stress state that we don't even feel relaxed enough to get the urge to have a bowel movement. So make sure you are having some relaxed time. You kind of figure out when your time is. Mine varies. It's usually after breakfast. Sometimes it's when I wake up, but I know I need that relaxed time after breakfast in case I do need to go then. And then overeating is another huge cause for constipation, because if you're just bombarding your system with too much food at once, there's going to be more waste, and it's just like garbage system overload essentially. So it's important to not overeat. Okay, so I just wanted to note, when you start working on these root causes, you will heal really quickly. It doesn't take that long. So I feel like it's kind of intuitive at this point after what I mentioned. So if you're dealing with constipation or diarrhea, just think about which things I just mentioned apply to you more. Are you constipated and super stressed all the time? Are you constipated and never have time for bowel movement in the morning? Do you have diarrhea and also have acid reflux? Maybe you have low stomach acid. Do you have diarrhea and constipation alternating and get super bloated? You probably have microbiome imbalance. So from there, you can start to know what you need to do to work on it. And if you want help, I'm happy to help you as well. But I just wanted to note a few of my clients and some of the quick progress that they've made once they did make these changes. So my client, Peter, he overcame his constipation and got to having 1 to 2 complete bowel movements nearly every single day, only 2 months into working together. So that was pretty quick. We just made some changes to his diet. That was kind of the main thing. We really just changed his diet, and that made a huge difference for him. My client Alexa had alternating constipation and diarrhea, and in 2 months of working together, she was having 5+ complete healthy bowel movements every single week, which was awesome. Main things we worked on were managing stress, and then also her diet as well, and gut health, of course. And then my client Derek, he overcame his diarrhea. He was having 3 to 4 bowel movements with urgency in these 4-hour windows, and in just 2 months he was down to regular healthy bowel movements, no more diarrhea. And then my client Will overcame his diarrhea. He had 2 to 3 urgent times he needed to go each day, and he was relying on anti-diarrhea medication to make it through work. And he was off the pills in 2 months, not relying on them anymore, and completely diarrhea free, back to regular healthy bowel movements in 3 months of working together. And then I went from 10 years of about 2 to 3 bowel movements a week, really bad constipation, to having 1 to 2 bowel movements nearly every day for the past 4 or 5 probably years at this point. So once you know what to do, this is something you can heal pretty darn quick. And if you want help with this process of figuring out, what's causing your constipation or diarrhea and other gut issues, and you just want someone to be there for you to explain what's happening and really give you a roadmap on how to heal and how to get to a place where you just don't have to think about your gut health anymore. You know what to eat, you eat it, you enjoy your day, your bowel movements are totally normal and you don't have to think about them anymore, then I would be happy to help you. And if you want to hear more about what I offer, then I will leave a link down below to book a call with me, and basically on the call you can tell me more about what you're dealing with, and I can tell you what I think you need to do to heal, and I can explain more about what I offer with my program, and you get to decide if that's something you're interested or not. But yeah, if you're looking for some help with your gut issues, be sure to book a call with me. I'd love to talk with you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, consider liking it, commenting something below. Let me know what you want to see more of, what topics you'd like to see. If you know someone who could benefit from this, share it with them. That helps me out a lot. And thanks for watching.